Hey there, educators. Envision the joy of walking into your classroom daily throughout the year and being greeted by curious, responsive, and respectful students. What if your classroom could transform into a collaborative and engaging space where every student is excited to learn and behave responsibly? And I know that every day might be a bit of a stretch because life gets messy. Today, I want to share a powerful enhancement that can change the way you teach and the way your students view themselves. By integrating Drew Dudley's value-based leadership principles, you can teach your students to align their daily decisions with their core values. This simple yet profound shift can empower your students to take ownership of their actions, their learning, and foster a sense of responsibility and leadership within them. This means you don't have to be the person who leads all the time. As you implement these value-based strategies, you'll witness a remarkable change in your classroom dynamics. Students will collaborate more effectively, respect each other, hold each other accountable, and contribute positively to the learning environment. This shift not only enhances the learning experience for your students, but also makes teaching more enjoyable and fulfilling for you. Imagine the joy of seeing your students thrive academically and socially, all because you've helped them connect with their core values. Now, while this growth sounds incredible, there's a challenge that you face. Despite your best efforts to implement values-based leadership principles, you might find it challenging to maintain consistency and keep students engaged over time. The initial excitement can fade and the old habits creep back in, leading to a relapse in disruptive behavior and disengagement. You might be thinking, how do I ensure these positive behaviors stick? How do I keep my students consistently engaged and motivated to align their actions with their core values? This is a common concern and one many educators face. The reality is that creating a lasting change requires more than just a one-off, and you know this. It demands ongoing commitment, reinforcement, and strategies to keep the momentum going. This is where many teachers struggle, and it can be disheartening to see the initial progress unravel. But don't worry, there is a solution. And I'm here to help you navigate through it to ensure that the positive changes in your classroom are sustainable and long-lasting. Before we dive into the solution, let me share a bit about why you can trust my guidance. I've spent years working with teachers like you, helping them create meaningful, lasting changes in their classroom. I use Drew Dudley's core principles in my workshops, which has proven to be incredibly effective in supporting teachers in building student resilience. In fact, a workshop specifically focused on integrating these values to strengthen student resiliency consistently receives feedback about how transformational it is for both students and classroom dynamics. In addition to my work with teachers, I volunteer with a group of leadership students whose first year is dedicated to discovering and establishing their core values. This foundational work not only shapes their personal development, but also equips them to become leaders who can inspire and guide their peers. By applying these principles, educators can successfully turn their classrooms into vibrant, engaging spaces where students not only engage academically, but also develop critical life skills like responsibility, respect, and leadership. The power of using these values across curricular content amplifies the impact, making learning more cohesive and meaningful. My approach is grounded in practical and actionable strategies that are easy to implement and tailored to the unique needs of each classroom. I've witnessed remarkable growth, and I'm passionate about sharing these insights with you so that you can experience the same success. To ensure the positive changes in your classroom are sustainable, it's essential to create a structured and supportive environment that reinforces value-based leadership principles consistently. First, establish clear expectations and routines that align with these principles. Consistency is the key. Regularly integrate the core values into your daily actions. Use visual aids such as posters or value statements. And what I love about this is students can help you make these. Students can brainstorm and generate ideas that they're going to buy into to bring these values into your curriculum. And it helps keep these principles front and center in your classroom and in the student's mind. Second, incorporate weekly reflections and discussion sessions. Students do well when they can unpack their own stuff, not always be told what to do. Give students the opportunity to share their experiences, challenges, and success in living out these values. This not only reinforces the principles, but also builds a sense of community and accountability among your students. And you don't have to do it all. They get to take a leadership role in it, which I absolutely love. Third, celebrate and recognize decisions that are value-based. Acknowledge students who demonstrate their values through actions, both publicly and privately. This not only motivates the recognized students, but also inspires others to follow suit. Have your students come up with this recognition system. Do a brainstorm with them and let them set it up. You can facilitate and guide the discussion, but let them do the work. By implementing these strategies, you'll create a positive feedback loop that reinforces the desired behaviors and keeps students engaged. Your students will help you lead it all. Remember, it's about creating a culture of value-based leadership that becomes ingrained in your classroom dynamics. You might be thinking, this sounds intriguing, but will it really work for my unique situation? Or, I've tried similar strategies before, and they don't stick. What makes this different? These are valid questions, and here's why this approach stands out. First, the power of value-based leadership is its flexibility. Every classroom is different, we know this, and these principles are designed to be adapted to your specific needs and your students. Whether you're working with younger students or teenagers, you can shape the strategies to fit your classroom dynamics and curriculum, making them more relatable and impactful. Consistency is the game changer here. This isn't about a one-off solution. It's about weaving these values into the fabric of your classroom daily. When students see that these principles are a consistent part of their environment, they naturally begin to adopt them, leading to lasting change. And remember, you're part of a community of educators who have successfully navigated this path. Their shared experiences and insights can offer guidance and the encouragement you need to make this approach work in your classroom. In our next video, we'll dive deeper into what your classroom can become when value-based leadership principles truly take root. Picture the shift in your classroom when students embrace responsibility and collaboration, creating a space where respect and active engagement flourish. Here's what a former student shared about his experience of being taught value-based principles. These principles have dramatically benefited me when trying to live a life that is authentic and fulfilling. Understanding and developing my core values as a student allowed me to create clarity within my decision-making throughout high school and into adulthood. My core values allowed me to set meaningful goals that aligned with what I believed in, as well as always striving towards personal growth. Although my core values may change over the years, I am grateful to have learned this useful skill and implement it into my daily life. Stay tuned for the next video and email where we'll tackle the overwhelm and fatigue that can build up as the year progresses and provide the support you need to maintain a vibrant, thriving classroom environment. Now, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, share one challenge you faced last year in managing your classroom and one value you wish to instill in your students. If this content is helpful, please like and share with fellow educators. Small, consistent steps like integrating value-based leadership will help create a classroom where both you and your students thrive. Stay tuned for the next video with more insights and tips. Let's work together and build a classroom where every student thrives and every teacher feels fulfilled. See you in the next video.